What's going on, guys? It's Sean Islami. Today we got a great game, the most fun I've had in this game in a few weeks now, on Chivalry 2's best map, Siege of Rudhelm. What really made this so fun was I was playing with some friends from the Unyielding Discord I started. That'll be in the pinned comment. It's basically the most active Discord in the community right now. It's been insane, the growth it's been getting. And then we're playing against Easy17, who's been in a video before, and he had his group of guys he plays with in the Shiv Cartel, some friends in there. What really made this so cool was we all had really good games, but it felt like I was leading my army against his. It was really cool stuff because it's kind of like the new update that's coming out that we're going to get potentially this month. It was announced today that it's called Regicide. And the rumor going right now is that map is going to end on a VIP versus a VIP, one king fighting another king. And that was going through my head in this because we were leading both teams. We ended up topping the scoreboard on each one. And I was just thinking about how cool that's going to be. And you definitely want to stay tuned on the channel to see us play that once it's out. Because as I said, they said it should be this month. We know Chivalry 2 and Torn Banner don't always follow through on those for one reason or another. But I may have to be hitting the duel yard with Lousy or some other soon because I don't think my 1 versus 1 skills are there against players like Easy17. I do want to talk about him a little bit because he's someone I've kind of built into my head as a rival, and then I've popped into his streams. He's a very cool guy. I'll link his Twitch below, and he's someone that plays kind of similar to me, so it's pretty funny. I first started noticing him because he uses the longsword a lot. That's kind of his main weapon, although he has been using the spear more recently. I think you'll see him use it in this one. And we always end up on opposite teams if I'm in his lobby. Right before I went to go edit this and add the commentary over, we actually were in opposite games on Fallmeyer. And it just always ends up some crazy thing happens, or it just ends up epic and long. So I don't know. I just love playing against this guy, and he's become a friend, which is pretty cool. One of those great things about the Chivalry 2 community being small is when you kind of built up these rivalries or make friends that you're going to run into regularly. There's no other game I can think of where it's small enough that everybody knows each other that plays regularly, but it's also big enough you're always going to find full games. It's the only game I can think of where you really can carve out your own path as like some legendary Game of Thrones swordsman or Lord of the Rings kind of thing. And it really is a game that if it does end up being the last update, I'm never going to forget my times in here, especially when I've made friends that are long going to outlast this game. I do want to shout out 2 of them that I'm playing with right now. That's Sir Careless / Ultra Blue. He goes by both of those. And then we're also playing with Nir, who never gets off the ballista. It drives me insane. He almost kills me in this one with it. He's absolutely annoying with that. And we're also playing with Hamatime, a new guy I've met. He's a really good engineer. I think he even switches to help teams at some point. You know that's a Chad maneuver right there when you see someone doing that. Just kidding. I do love you, Nir. And we survived quite a long time in this. We haven't died yet, and we're off to a hot start if you didn't notice. Let's get more into the gameplay now. While I have told you guys I'm trying to focus on positioning, which is why we've been using the longsword so much recently, because I feel like that rewards my smart play the most when I'm trying to not just rush in like a madman. And I have to be smarter about disengaging. When I do kind of get to low health and there isn't a 1 versus 1 going on, it's against multiple people, you're going to start seeing me jump back and over teammates. I'm using jumps a lot more to try and do that. There are times if I'm locked in a 1 versus 1, I'm not going to run away because that's a pride thing at that point. Maybe if it was a competitive setting, I wouldn't do that, which is going to be the goal pretty soon. This was really the only thing that was annoying me about this lobby was all the spears we were going up against. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that weapon. Don't listen to people who say there is, because if you're fighting in melee, it's okay. But at the same time, nothing against them individually, but how many spears were on the other team was a little crazy. And here's Easy17 using the spear behind him. That's the other team's general, as we said. No fear in this guy whatsoever. He's kind of similar to us, like I said. He's going to get in some 1vx's against my team. Nir and Careless are backing us up like always, and we survived by the skin of our teeth here. And that's kind of what I'm talking about in this lobby. We didn't run into each other too much, but he's a problem whenever you're going to run into him. And that'll be stage 1 down. We managed to survive the entire objective. Once you kind of survive the catapult phase and you're not dead to that, I am a little confident deathless as possible. But it's funny, we're going to lay out for the objective a lot more than usual. And look at this hype just going on right now. Everybody's together and we're going to run in. But yeah, I haven't been stressing the objective as much lately. But this game I did get competitive when I saw that other squad on the other team. And I really did want to go for the win. Rudhelm really is just such an incredible map. We did a map bracket, and this ended up winning over Lionspire for the #1 spot. I actually think Lionspire is my favorite, but I do think this is considered the best one, and even outside of that bracket, there's not one objective I don't like on this map. And on that note, I really do think this game is at its best when you're fighting in that classical medieval setting or sieging a castle, and it's really encouraging to see that this new update, that's kind of what it's going to be. It's not going to be a Tenosian desert or that kind of thing. What we're getting is it's going to be sieging a castle that's kind of the opposite of Thaic. There's lava and fire is the rumor. You can look it up and see the leaks if you want, but it's also in the lore page. If you go to the front page, it's some kind of citadel. It's called the Burning Citadel. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about the lore in this game. In fact, I'm a little proud of the fact that I don't. But it's kind of like the Masons, like home base, like Thaic Stronghold was for Agatha. But if this is the last update, it does look like they're going out with a bang, which is very exciting to see. And by the way, guys, I don't think that means it's necessarily the end of the game. We could still get battle passes or cosmetics in the future, but even if we don't, there's really no other slasher that can compete with this right now. So even without content, I do think this game is going to last far longer, hopefully another year, something like that, until we do move on to that next slasher. Now, in terms of actual gameplay, it's taken us a long time to hold this gatehouse and get the capture in, but I'm doing a really good job of picking and choosing my fights to stay alive, not getting too aggressive like I can be known to do a little bit on this channel. And we are doing a good job sticking with the team. It's really encouraging to see that positioning I'm working on, I'm starting to see the results. And this is an example of something I've learned, is these look-offs, where I was looking to the side of him and he didn't think I can see him and got some free hits in. It's easier in third person, but it's one of those little mind games you can kind of play with people that works way more often than you'd think. And the target switching in group fights is really just so imperative. I'm learning. Again, I've been name dropping him a lot, but he is a trainer in my Discord if you ever want to hit him up. He's happy to help. He's helped me step bow. Strida has videos on this as well if you search on his channel. Definitely, I don't think I have to tell you guys him. He's the biggest creator for this game. Really cool stuff that he can show you for guides. I'm not really known for guides here, but now we're going to leave this part in where I completely stand still, because I do want to shout out my friend Sir Frogbert, my right-hand man in the Discord I keep mentioning. He calls me a Discord main because at this point I am talking way too much in there. Pretty funny that I just stopped during a deathless run for the sake of answering people. I'm a very social person, so that's kind of where that comes from. But yeah, maybe I should be more focused on staying alive when there is a deathless run on the line. Not really happy with how passive I'm playing at this point. I'm relying on my team to do the objective a little bit and hang back a lot. I've started to talk about this in recent videos. I really don't stress the objective like I used to, because it did take me a long time to accept that If you're sending people to the spawn wave and not respawning yourself, you are doing way more than you ever would just pushing a cart, say on Dark Forest or standing on the siege ramp here. It obviously helps to be on that siege ramp, and definitely you want to be fighting around it, but it's not always on you to just push up and get yourself killed and constantly be looking at that screen. And as I've been playing with viewers and friends more, it's kind of made me realize that sometimes it can be a little too easy to win if you're in a lobby that's not so great, not a standalone. But this one was the exception. I'm giving this archer a few whacks because he was in my way. When you see other good players, especially when they're in their friend group and you're in yours, you do kind of just want to get that win. Not really to rub it in, but just out of respect for each other. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here just because there was a long lull in the action while I was walking around, and then kind of waited my turn to get a health kit because, you know, I always wait in line and thank people who do the same. Quite a few misses here, not exactly invisible man territory, but a lot of missed overheads. And since he's going to get preoccupied with the other teammates I have around me, I'm going to start trying to back up and heal and play smart, because like I said, at this point we still haven't died and we're pretty far into the game now. Because I've played this game way too much, I know that there's a health kit in here. And look at this, we're going to come face to face with one other guy on the other team. Now, Deathless Run on the line, I'm going to throw the respect emote. We're not going to run away. Too much pride for that. And let's see if we can get this done. Now, that was kind of close. We did have a Warhorn to heal after. Pretty close call there, and kind of an epic moment. We're going to hit him a respect emote as we walk away as well. This point I'm feeling invincible and that I can't be touched, and this is where I'm going to get knocked down a few pegs and brought down to earth. Now, Easy's squad over here, he's going to get some guys that are going to put some pressure on me, back me into a corner. This is one of them. Don't let the default skin fool you, and great overhead by him. They corner me, get the kill. Great example here of when pride gets in my way. I'm one hit from almost anything, and I'm not going to back up for some reason. I had a teammate there. Really big mistake to stay there, but it doesn't end up costing us, thankfully. This teammate looked like he was a little newer, not his fault. It's going to come with experience that he doesn't throw a fire pot like that. Maybe not if you guys have seen my fire pot throws. There's a health kit on the ground that we're going to head to, but you'll never guess what happens next. Now I'm going to put myself in a bad position. Like I said, I'm trying to lay out for the objective. Despite how close this is to being pushed up, a minute is not as long as you think, especially if the other side is being defended so well. And I'm trying my best to stay alive and get those last few inches. We're going to die if we have to. It just is what it is at that point. And we're going to make that objective done by the skin of our teeth. Now, I sound like a broken record, but I really do think you guys should pay attention to the positioning, because I'm doing a much better job than I ever have through the 2 years this game has been out than I am lately, with really sticking by all my teammates and not trying to do everything myself or get farm cool clips being addicted to content, right? Now, that last one coming down to the last minute really is a bad sign because you're going to need killing power to get this courtyard done. So I'm pretty nervous about that. Like I said, I'm trying to play for the win, and I'm starting to press a little bit. I'm staying alive, but I'm on the outskirts of this when I really should be backing up to stay with the team, and it's going to cost us big time. We're really putting a lot of pressure on them, and I do underestimate my friends at times because they really are really good players, and we're almost capturing this. It's really coming down to it. Like I said, this was just such an epic game. Really just awesome stuff. I'm getting hyped up just through the editing process. Here we're gonna run into easy again, hit them with the respect emote. It's gonna be trouble. Now my teammates are really doing all they can, but a lot of them aren't just as good as me and my friends. There are a lot of new players, but they're doing their best. We're really trying to be the difference makers right now. After a great job by the teammates to capture that courtyard, I really do want to let this last part breathe a little bit because you are just not going to see a closer ending than this. With just 8 seconds left to go, he's going to make a really clutch play to jump down. He's one shot. I'm going to try and throw my weapons just in case we can get him, but very clutch work. He's one of my favorite streamers to watch. I'm going to put his Twitch in the pinned comment. And if you want to check out the first time we ran into him and talked about him, it'll be in the videos I have linked above in the end cards. We discussed targeting a little bit in that one as well and how it's a mutual respect kind of thing. Love you guys. See you in the next one.